A lot of tribes have a character in their stories that is always getting into mischief, always causing trouble, and sometimes doing some really funny things. Now, in the Southwest, it's the coyote. In the Northwest, it's the raven. And in the Southeast and the Northeast, it's the rabbit. Oh, rabbit. That silly rabbit. Rabbit would rather trick somebody out of whatever he wanted rather than to work for it or to help somebody. And he spent all of his hours thinking and plotting and scheming how to get things away from the other animals. So one day, Rabbit was walking through the woods, and up ahead, he sees Fox. Fox has some fish. And Rabbit immediately thinks, oh, I'd like to eat those fish. What can I do? Oh, he ran a little ways ahead on the path, and then he fell over and played like he was dead. Here comes Fox. And he says, oh, look at that, a freshly dead rabbit. Oh my gosh. Well, I can't get it because I have this fish. I better not. So he stepped over Rabbit and walked on. Well, Rabbit jumped up, ran around, and flopped across the path the other way. Here comes Fox. Would you look at this? 2 rabbits in one day. I can't believe this. But I have these fish. I better not. So he stepped over Rabbit and walked on. Rabbit jumped up, he ran around and jumped in front of the fox, and he lay down in the path again and played like he was dead. Here comes Fox. Oh, wow, 3 freshly dead rabbits. I just can't pass this up. So he goes over and he hides his fish under a big pile of leaves. He says, I'm going to go back and get the first 2 rabbits and then come back and get this one. And I will have rabbit stew tonight and fish for breakfast. So he went back to get the other 2 rabbits. And as soon as he did, Rabbit jumps up, grabs that fish, skedaddles home, and has a nice fish fry. Rabbit, that rabbit, silly rabbit. Rabbit liked to brag. And he was bragging among all the other animals that he had the most beautiful fur. And he would say, just look at my fur. It's so soft and it's so beautiful, gray and brown and white. Just look at my fur. Well, the bear said, Rabbit, you have nice fur. Look at mine. My fur is luxurious, and it is so much nicer than yours. And Rabbit would say, no. And Fox would say, Rabbit, look at mine. Both of you look at mine. I have the most beautiful fur. They kept this up for hours. So finally, one of the animals said, you know, we all have beautiful fur, but I have heard that Otter has the most beautiful fur of all of us. That's right, they said. I remember that. Hey, how come Otter doesn't come around us anymore? I know where he lives. He lives up north. Gee, I'd like to see his coat. I'd like to compare his coat with our coats, and let's really see who has the best coat. Well, Rabbit said, I'll go and get him. I'll volunteer. I'll leave right now. And so he skedaddled out and went all the way up to where Otter lived. Hello, he said. I'm from down south, and we've been talking about how we haven't seen you in a long time. Would you like to come home with me? You can stay with me, and we'll visit and socialize. And Otter said, no, I don't think so. Well, Rabbit kept on and kept on and kept on. So finally, Otter said, all right, I'll go with you. So they started coming back home again, and Rabbit got a piece of wood and started carving. And Otter said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Well, I like to keep my hands busy as I'm walking." And they went on, and it started getting dark, and Rabbit said, "I think we should camp here for the night." And it was right by the creek, and it was a nice flat clearing with bushes all around. So Otter said, "All right." He said, "Oh, one thing, Otter. I've been in here before. I've been to this place, and at night, sometimes it rains fire. So maybe before you go to sleep, maybe you ought to take off your beautiful coat and just put it over here." And Otter said, "Oh, thanks, Rabbit. I didn't know that. I've never been here." So he takes off his coat and he hangs it on the bush. Otter goes to sleep. Rabbit takes out his carving, which is a paddle, and he scoops up the hot coals and throws them in the air. And he yells, "Fire, fire! It's coming from the sky!" And Otter jumps up and sees fire coming from the sky and ran and jumped in the river. Rabbit takes his coat and runs away. When he gets close to home, Rabbit slips on Otter's coat and walks in. He thought, "I will do anything so that they say I have the nicest coat." He kept his head down, and they said, "Oh, look, it is Otter. Oh, how are you? Oh, it's so good to see you." And they came close, and they started looking at his coat, and it really was the nicest of all of them. So they invited him to sit down and eat and visit. And then the bear said, "Where is Rabbit?" And Rabbit says, "Why don't you want to sit down? You must be tired after your long journey." And Rabbit goes, "The bear is getting really suspicious." And he goes over and he pulls Rabbit's head back, and Otter's coat comes off in his hand. "Rabbit, what have you done?" They grabbed Otter's coat and kicked Rabbit out and went to find Otter with lots of apologies. They gave him back his beautiful coat, and Otter still to this day swims all by himself out of the water in case somebody wants to steal his coat again.